Okay, so you've defined your task and now you need to find your information. So you need to do your research. A good place to start is your school library. At your library you can find encyclopedias, books and journals, and you can connect with your friends there as well. You can find audiovisual items like CDs and DVDs. You can find computers as well, which are generally connected to the World Wide Web, so you can do your research on the internet. And you can even find a helpful librarian or two. So the key to good research is finding a variety of sources for your topic. So first-hand accounts, known as primary resources, are a great find and a good addition to your research, and they can include these things here and even include interviews with people who have lived at the time you are researching, who are still alive today. So of course the internet is a fantastic place to go to find information, but in saying that, there are a couple of things we need to know about the internet and, well, a computer's not a human being, so we can't just go up to it and ask it and expect it to give it what we think it should give us. We've actually got to provide commands. So there are certain rules or codes which we need to understand so that we can tell the internet or tell the database or search engine what it is that we want to find so that we can get the most accurate results. Some things are relatively easy to find, so fun facts about roller coasters we can find, but when it comes to your school assignment it can be a little bit more difficult if you don't know how. So while you can sometimes go on a roller coaster, you will always have to write an assignment. So you may as well figure the tricks to finding the best research just to make writing that assignment as quickly and painlessly as possible. So now this looks like something that we'd get from our grade 8 history teacher. Discuss the reasons for the changes that occurred in medieval Europe with a focus on the development of castles, the impact of the Crusades and the weakening of the feudal system. So obviously there is a number of concepts in there which we need to understand. So what we need to do is actually select the keywords, which is the first part of finding the commands which you need to give the search box. So we need to do a keyword search, and when we do our keyword search we need to use something called Boolean operators, which is just computer language for telling the computer what we want. So I'll show you what this means if you go ahead and open up another window, you can search alongside with me and we can together find out just how easy it is. So I'm just basically going to focus on 4 very simple steps. So looking for the main ideas or the concepts in your topic, so identifying your keywords, connecting those keywords with an and or an or. So generally, mostly you'll just use and or when you are using your Boolean operators. And the other thing is to use quotation marks, something else that you probably use quite frequently. So first off, we are just going to look at the keywords. We're going to pluck those out. So I've chosen medieval Europe, castles, the Crusades and feudal system. So generally they're nouns, but also in this whole assignment question is a concept. It's asking you to find things out, so for reasons and to focus and look at the impacts and the weakening of the feudal system. So we will more than likely, if we want to narrow down our search, we can use things like impact and changes at relevant times of the search. Okay, so I've chosen to use a library database for the search. So I've gone to the Brisbane City Council library website and selected databases here, and you will find in your school library that there will generally be on your website a list of databases which you can then use to find information. And I've chosen a database because of the type of information we're after. Databases generally will give you scholarly information because those people who have inputted into that database are experts in the field, so we can generally rely on it. I'm first of all going to Britannica, which is an encyclopedia, and I'm going to type in medieval Europe and just select search button, see what we come up with. So let me see, we've got quite a few results there. And I've started off with an encyclopedia because it's, again, of the nature of the topic and gives us a good broad look at the subject. So it gives us a good idea, it's a good start to have a good overall picture of what we're looking at. However, by using medieval in Europe, it doesn't understand it as one concept, it uses it as two words, so it looks for all articles with the words medieval in it and Europe in it. So some of that's just not of any use to us at all. So what we can then do is we add the quotation marks, and what the quotation marks do is it tells the computer it's one concept, so it's looking for medieval Europe next to each other in the articles, and that's what we're requiring of the search engine. So again, I'm selecting medieval Europe, and again I've got a few things, but notice everything will have medieval Europe within the text itself. But the other thing we've found is that when we're looking at keywords, it's just not the words which are in the actual topic itself. We can look at cinnamon. So we actually do know that medieval Europe is also known as the Middle Ages. So by adding "and" to the search and Middle Ages, we're telling the computer that we want all articles which have medieval Europe in it and the Middle Ages in it. So therefore do a search on that and see how we go. Yep, that's much better. It's displaying 1 to 6 results. This one's quite a good little find here, I think, to give us a general overview of the subject. And we can scroll down and we can notice things like it's got castle life there, it's got pilgrimages and crusades, so that would be a good general read for us. Okay, what also we do need to be aware of is there's always some search tips in Search Help, whichever database or search engine that we're going to be using it. They will provide those tips for you or help. So you can broaden your research then to include other databases which aren't just referenced books, and broaden that search. So obviously still note there's the tools, how to find a book, find topic page. So it's all those sorts of help things, and you'll find those in your search engines as well. The other important thing I do want to say about locating information is that you can always ask a librarian. So if you're a member of the Brisbane City Council Library, for example, you can go for live chat in email and have a conversation. They can give you some advice on how to find those keywords and Boolean searches. And the other thing I think I need to say is that when we're doing our research now, it's not just we're finding information on our own and just keeping it a secret, we're sharing it with people. So at night time, maybe you can FaceTime a friend, you can Skype a friend, you can get together and find out what information you've found or what keyword search you've been using, what databases or search engines you've been using. Okay, thank you for listening.